All right, let's get right into it. We are talking about one of the absolute monuments of science fiction, the Enderverse. Now, it kicks off as this really intense story about child soldiers and space battles, but that's just the beginning. It quickly blossoms into this massive, sprawling epic that tackles some of the heaviest questions out there about war, about guilt, and really about what it even means to be human.
So, here's our game plan for breaking this all down. We're going to start with the core paradox of the whole series, what I'm calling the empathy weapon. Then, we'll see how humanity literally forged its perfect soldier. After that, we hit the devastating twist. The war was not a game. From there, we'll explore the thousands of years of consequences and wrap it all up with something a little chilling, how this 40-year-old story became a blueprint for our world today.
All right, first up, the empathy weapon. This is it. This is the single, powerful, contradictory idea that the entire saga is built on.
I mean, just think about that for a second. How can empathy, the ability to feel what someone else feels, to understand them, to love them, how can that be the key to their complete and utter destruction? It sounds totally backwards, right? But that is the core idea. To truly defeat an enemy, to outthink them on every possible level, you have to understand them so perfectly, so completely, that you can't help but fall in love with them. And that's the terrible, beautiful tragedy of it all.
And this quote right here, it just nails that tension. It's the whole conflict in a nutshell. On one hand, you have the cold, brutal math of survival. Do whatever it takes. On the other, you have this radical compassion that leads to crippling guilt and a desperate search for redemption. This is the war being fought inside our hero, long after the real war is over.
So, how did humanity create a commander who could actually live with that paradox? Well, they found a kid. A brilliant, tormented kid named Andrew Ender Wiggin.
You really can't get Ender without understanding his siblings. His brother, Peter, is basically the devil on his shoulder. Pure, ruthless ambition. The monster Ender is terrified he'll become. His sister, Valentine, is the angel on the other shoulder, the voice of compassion, his moral conscience. And Ender? He's right in the middle. He's got Peter's killer instinct for strategy, but Valentine's empathy means every move, every victory, just tears him apart. It's what makes him the perfect commander and the most tortured soul in the galaxy.
And they didn't just train Ender. No, they put him through a series of psychological crucibles. They threw him into the battle room, this zero-gravity arena for these incredibly intense war games. They had him play the mind game, which was basically this adaptive AI that dug deep into his subconscious. And all the while, his commanders made sure he was completely, utterly alone. The idea was simple. Either he would break, or he would be forged into the greatest military genius in history.
And all of that pressure resulted in this one simple, game-changing phrase: the enemy's gate is down. This isn't just a tactic, it's a whole new way of thinking. In zero gravity, there is no up or down, but everyone was still stuck in that mindset. Ender was the first to realize the only direction that matters is toward the enemy. That is the genius they were looking for.
Okay, so this brings us to the moment it all comes to a head. We're at command school for Ender's final test, and the line between what's real and what's a game is about to be erased forever.
So, picture it. Ender thinks he's in his final exam, the ultimate simulation. He's commanding these massive fleets against impossible odds, pushed to his absolute breaking point. He's exhausted, desperate, and he just wants it to be over. So he does the unthinkable. He pulls a maneuver so costly, so destructive, that no one would ever do it in real life. He sacrifices his entire fleet to use a weapon called the Little Doctor to destroy the enemy's home planet and win the game once and for all.
And then the truth comes out. The cheers in the command room are real. It was never a simulation. The ships he commanded were real. The pilots who died were real. And the planet he just vaporized was the actual homeworld of the alien species. In his moment of greatest triumph, Ender Wiggin, the boy who was too good at games, commits Xenocide.
And this is the moral black hole at the center of the story. Was it worth it? Is the survival of one species worth the extinction of another? Is it worth sacrificing a child's soul to do it? The book gives you no easy answers. It just leaves you with the question.
But here's the thing. Victory isn't the end of the story. For Ender, it's the beginning of a whole new one. A story about consequences and a quest for redemption that will last for 3,000 years.
It all starts when he discovers one last surviving Hive Queen, Pupa, who telepathically shows him the horrible truth. The war was all a tragic misunderstanding. Gutted by this, Ender basically creates a new religion. He becomes the first speaker for the dead. His job? When someone dies, he tells the complete, unvarnished truth of their life. The good, the bad, all of it. Not to judge them, but to understand them. And for the next 3 millennia, he wanders the galaxy, carrying this last queen, looking for a planet where she can be reborn, and a way for him to atone.
His journey eventually brings him to a planet called Lusitania, and believe it or not, the moral dilemmas get even more complicated. There are 2 new intelligent species there. Plus, there's a virus that's essential for the native aliens' life cycle, but it's instantly fatal to humans. So, what's humanity's plan? You guessed it, blow up the whole planet to contain the virus. And the irony is just crushing. Ender, the man they call Xenocide, is now the only person who can stop it from happening all over again.
Okay, let's shift gears to what is, honestly, one of the most uncanny things about this saga. Let's talk about how a science fiction story written back in the 80s became a shocking blueprint for the 21st century.
I mean, you just look at this list, and it's wild. Ender commanding fleets remotely from a chair. That's modern drone warfare. His siblings manipulating global politics on the nets? That's basically Twitter and Facebook. The personal desk computer that everyone uses? It's an iPad. Using gamified simulations for military training? That's standard practice now with VR and AR. It's truly amazing foresight.
Now, to be fair, not everything in the book has come true. While things like drones and the internet are fully here, other stuff, like advanced genetic modification, is only partially realized. We've got the basic tech, but we're not quite there yet. And things like faster-than-light communication or a true hive mind consciousness? Well, those are still firmly in the realm of science fiction. For now, anyway.
But that brings us to the real punchline of the entire saga. After all the technology, all the warfare, all the planet-killing weapons, the final argument is that the greatest power in the universe isn't a weapon at all.
The ultimate power is the one Ender finds in his exile. It's being the speaker for the dead. It's the power of radical empathy, not to destroy but to understand. The ability to look at an entire life, flaws and all, and just tell the plain, unvarnished truth. In doing that, you offer not judgment, but a kind of redemption. That's the real power.
And so that's the thought I want to leave you with. In our own world, a world of drone strikes watched on screens, of political battles fought by anonymous avatars, a world where truth feels like it's up for grabs, who speaks for our dead? Who has the courage to tell the whole, unfiltered story?